Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Now at 6, a woman is dead tonight and a man behind bars after what police are calling a targeted attack.
I've been here since '91. Yeah, there's been little minute crimes, loud kids, people burning out, breaking things, a few car break-ins, but still, compared to this, any crime is a crime.
What we're learning about the suspect.
While combating crime across Connecticut comes front and center.
I got it. Let me just.
The calls for action from local leaders to address the rise in violence.
And health officials feeling the impact of the flu.
It does appear that it's worse than most of those years, going all the way back to 2010.
The trends we're seeing across the state and how you may keep from getting sick.
Hugs for the holidays, courtesy of new hospital employee Nash. I'm Jim Altman. We're in Wallingford today. More ahead on the Fox 61 News. Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. A Milford woman is dead after police say a man she formerly dated allegedly killed her with an axe inside of her home last night.
This all happened shortly after 9 p.m. at the Long Meadow condominiums on Salem Walk. That man faced a judge this afternoon for his long list of serious charges.
Fox 61's Carmen Chow is in Milford with what we've learned about the events leading up to that homicide.
Ben and Jen, the victim, 40-year-old Julie Minogue, lived in those condos behind me. Police say the suspect, 42-year-old Ewan DeWitt, was somehow able to get inside her home with an axe, allegedly killing her while both of her children were inside the home. This ring video obtained by Fox 61 from a neighbor shows who appears to be the suspect carrying an axe moments before the homicide. Police say the victim, Julie Minogue's 17-year-old son, called 911 saying Ewan DeWitt allegedly killed his mother. Minogue's 3-year-old was also in the home uninjured. DeWitt now facing a slew of serious charges, one of them being murder. He faced a judge this afternoon at Milford Superior Court.
There do appear to be some mental health concerns. He also is a United States Marine Corps veteran.
But DeWitt is no stranger to police. He holds a long list of previous charges. Police say on December 1st, Minogue filed a restraining order against DeWitt for sending her harassing text messages. According to the arrest warrant, when officers went inside the home, Minogue had multiple lacerations to her face and skull and was surrounded by a large pool of blood. DeWitt's mother had called Milford police shortly after this happened and said, quote, "He is walking around. He wants to kill himself. He wants to hang himself. He is looking for a rope."
I would argue that the case against the defendant is very strong. There is surveillance footage. There is a 17-year-old witness to part of this incident.
And neighbors who also live in the same complex believe it was the ring video that helped police track DeWitt down.
You need more street lights. You need security. Encourage people. Put your lights on at night in the front of your unit, the back of your unit.
Domestic violence expert Paula Sorecchia told Fox 61 when it comes to help for victims, it can be offered, but there comes a point to when the system needs to be strengthened.
What do you do when somebody violates a protective order repeatedly? How can we as a community respond?
DeWitt is being held on a $5 million bond, and he is scheduled to reappear in court next month. In Milford, Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
Just incredibly upsetting to hear, Carmen. Thank you. Well, homicides are up in Waterbury and down in New Haven, but both city police chiefs want similar solutions to what's going on. Now we're getting a look at new body cam footage of an arrest that police say is an example of why they need stronger laws. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez is live in New Haven to explain that to us. Samaya.
Good evening, Jen. Yeah, police say the point of the body camera footage that we're about to show you is not what happened, but what could have happened.
Slow. You got it. Hands up.
Newly released body camera video shows the moment a traffic stop turned intense for officers in New Haven this past Sunday.
I got it. Let me just.
Joseph Newton is well known to police. He was sent to prison years ago for firing shots at officers. Sunday, they discovered he had a gun in his pocket.
Newton was eventually detained, but not before causing injuries to Officer Galvin.
New Haven Police Chief Carl Jacobson highlighted efforts to remove 234 guns off the streets this year. The Elm City seeing a downward trend in homicides, 10 this year down from 26 at this same time last year. But the issue of illegal guns and repeat offenders like Newton have city chiefs joining forces to talk about stronger laws.
3 encounters with officers where he could have been killed, the officers could have been killed, and he's being let out earlier.
New Haven's news comes one day after the police chief in Waterbury also called on lawmakers to gear up for a session addressing crime.
There's a very few amount of people in this community that commit violent acts. So when we do catch them for violent acts, we need them to do time, have a higher bond, or whatever the case may be, to protect the community.
While New Haven sees fewer homicides, Waterbury had 15 this year, levels it hasn't seen since the 90s. UConn policy expert Andrew Clark says it's a good sign the chiefs are in constant communication, working on these issues together. He says countries that come up with strong solutions for safety do it collaboratively with community.
They put their heads together on how do we achieve the best safety, and they use evidence and they use the best resources that they have, then there's usually a positive result in that.
And in addition to this, both chiefs tell me that their departments are understaffed. New Haven did just swear in 19 new recruits 2 weeks ago. We're live in New Haven. Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61 News.
All right, Samaya, thank you. Time for a check on the weather right now. Dreary out there, but the temperatures are warm outside.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now, and it's foggy out there too, Rach, right?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like December out there. Temperatures are in the 50s. It almost feels a little balmy. We've got fog going on, but the rain is out of here after what was soggy at times today, especially in eastern Connecticut. Here's a look at that fog. This picture, or video, I should say, from Matt Scott in Guilford this afternoon. You can see visibility down, and it's down below a quarter mile in Chester right now, a quarter mile for New Haven. So keep in mind if you're driving out and about this evening, especially in southern Connecticut, because northern Connecticut, it's not really an issue. One road might be fine. You turn a corner and you might run into some lower visibility. So just don't want that to kind of catch you off guard. It will not be an issue for the morning commute tomorrow, so will resolve itself before then. Look at these numbers. 57 in Hartford right now. December 7th, 56 degrees in the New Haven area, and temperatures will only slowly drop back as we head through the evening tonight. Clearing skies will continue. We'll get some drier air in here, and tomorrow the sun. We'll see highs around 50 degrees, a little bit breezy as we start to pull in some cooler air, but overall tomorrow looks like a really nice day. There is a chance for a little rain or snow to finish the weekend. We'll talk about it, your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. New tonight, a Norwalk man is facing assault charges for allegedly hitting a person with a car in Middlefield. Police say an employee of a business on Industrial Park Access Road was hit by Jeremy Jordan, a former employee at that business. The employee told police that he was trying to stop Jordan when he was hit. Police say that Jordan had been offered alternate transportation before driving away in the company car. The employee was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Crews responded to a tractor-trailer accident on I-95 southbound just before midnight. That accident involved 2 tractor-trailers between exits 17 and 18. Officials say one of the tractor-trailers jackknifed and its fuel tank burst, causing a spill. The driver of one of the trucks was injured and was treated on the scene. DEEP responded to the scene to oversee the cleanup of that fuel spill. Well, a man is in critical condition tonight after a shooting in Hartford. Police say a man in his 40s arrived at a local hospital overnight. He told officers he was shot several times along Clifford Street. Right now, no word on any suspects.
A Newtown man who was reported missing almost 10 years ago was found dead in New York. Robert Hoagland was last seen on July 28th. On Monday, police in Sullivan County, New York, responded to an untimely death call. Again, that was 10 years ago. They were originally unable to identify that man, but found papers with the name Robert Hoagland. They learned he'd been living in Sullivan County since around November of 2013 and was going by the name Richard King. An autopsy was being conducted, but There were no signs of any foul play.
New at 6, Old Saybrook police are searching for 3 people who allegedly stole $2,000 worth of Legos from a Walmart. Police sharing these photos of the suspects, 2 women and 1 man. Police say a loss prevention officer tried to stop the group, but the man, identified as Glenn London, allegedly responded by elbowing him and threatening to shoot him. Police say London is also the primary suspect in 2 other Lego larcenies from earlier this year. Anyone with information should give police a call.
Well, happening now, stakeholders and business leaders from the cannabis industry are meeting with state lawmakers from across the state.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst spoke with them and joins us now with the very latest. Emma.
Good evening, Ben, Jen. Over 250 people gathered here at the Hartford Club right now for this expo today, talking construction, banking, finance, and cultivation in the industry. But right now, as of today, recreational cannabis sales have still not launched in the state. Officials initially wanted to activate the new market by the end of 2022, but that's now anticipated sometime early next year. Leaders were hoping within the next 3 to 4 months. Those I spoke with today say despite delays, the industry here is actually relatively on track, telling me Connecticut is on par with other nearby states like New York and New Jersey in terms of legalization.
The cannabis industry is a billion-dollar industry. There's a ton of conversation going on the federal level about interstate commerce, and so Connecticut really getting this industry stood up and getting a head start in terms of developing the businesses here is going to only inure to the benefit of the state over the long term.
And officials tell me ironing out any possible issues with implementation will be a top priority for state lawmakers at this upcoming legislative session, which will kick off in just about 4 weeks here. For now, live in Hartford, Emma Wolfhorst, Fox 61 News.
All right, Emma, thank you. New tonight, the state announced it expects a major delay in erasing the criminal records of thousands of residents under the Clean State law. The law goes into effect January 1st, but the Office of Policy and Management says they expect the process of identifying and clearing all eligible records to last until late 2023. Officials say that they're experiencing technical challenges involving data. Local leaders now calling on the government to move faster.
I say to you today, Governor, please make sure that this does not delay a process, because a whole lot of people that wants to benefit will not benefit.
Fox 61 spoke with a resident who says he lost a job because of his criminal background that would be wiped away now with the Clean Slate law. He tells us he's frustrated by the delay.
Why should I have to lose my job for charges that I don't have any court stipulations under? I don't have any probation or any guidelines that I'm following. All the charges were behind me. It's a major disappointment. It's 6 more months that I have to struggle, that I have to, maintain myself.
Douglas says the job he was let go of told him that he could be rehired once the Clean Slate law goes into effect. The governor originally signed the Clean Slate legislation into law back in June of 2021.